In this video, I will be doing a full demo of what has easily become one of my favorite guitars. My build of the Fender Stratocaster Kurt Cobain used for Nirvana's memorable and chaotic performance at the 1992 MTV VMAs. A guitar that fans have appropriately nicknamed the VMA Strat. If you've seen my videos before, then this guitar will be no stranger to you, as we have documented and analyzed the remains of the actual VMA Strat. That took place in episode 2 of my series, My Time with Kurt Cobain's actual guitar. As if that wasn't already cool enough, we visited that historic guitar again when I got this Strat to compare the two side by side. So I'm honored to say that my VMA Strat has quote unquote met the actual VMA Strat, the guitar that it is modeled after. There is something I would like to correct myself on though. In that side by side video, I presented that Kurt's Stratocaster was a model ST-62 Japanese Fender Stratocaster. I was confident of this at the time that I made that video, as my Strat right here is a Japanese ST-62, and its neck matched up so perfectly with Kurt's when I had them side by side. I have since learned that this is not the case, and that this neck is actually a replacement neck. Nirvana guitar tech Ernie Bailey reached out to me to tell me that he remembers 3 Fender necks showing up on the morning of the VMAs, and replacing Kramer necks on 2 white Strats before the VMA soundcheck. He said replacement necks were sent with no tuners installed, and the original necks were destroyed in either late 91 or early 92. On the live Nirvana forums, user Mickey Johansson reached out to me and showed me an incredible amount of research they had done that led them to conclude that all of Kurt's black and white Strats are ST-362s. Everything they showed me lined up with what Ernie had shared, which just added further evidence. So first and foremost, I do want to apologize for incorrectly stating that the VMA Strat is an ST-62. I take a lot of pride and care in presenting only the most thorough and backed up information I can find. And I admit I slipped up on this one. I never want to present misinformation on my channel, and I regret that this is an instance where I might have accidentally done that. So I'm happy to present with confirmation that Kurt Cobain's VMA Strat was an MIJ ST-362, and at the time of the VMA performance, it had a replacement ST-62 neck. Huge shout out to Ernie and Mickey for all the insight and the information, and also a huge shout out to the owner of the VMA Strat. Thank you for letting me visit this guitar not once, but twice. My build is a 1996 MIJ ST-62 Fender Strat. So it does have the same model neck that Kurt had at the VMAs, but the body and the single coils are going to be a little different since it's a slightly different model. This guitar was made in the Fujigen factory. The Fujigen factory's original contract with Fender ran from 1981 to 1996, meaning that this guitar was made at the very tail end of Fender Fujigen's original run, which I think is pretty cool. I got this guitar for a screaming deal on Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't planning on buying another Strat, but then when this popped up locally at the price that it was up at, I saw it that night, and then the next day I was driving out to get it. It is completely stock aside from 2 changes that I have done to it. I installed 90s Seymour Duncan neck hot rails. Kurt's were most likely bridge hot rails, but I was after the distinct look of the vintage white rails with no logo and the black wrapping. 80s bridge hot rails and 90s neck hot rails are the ones that have this look. I also replaced the pickguard with a vintage ST-362 pickguard that came from my Vandalism Strat build. Now this is my Japanese Nirvana Strat that is as accurate as it can get. Another one that I will never let go of. Just like Kurt's, I had the original 1-ply 8-hole pickguard replaced with a 3-ply 11-hole pickguard, which was absolutely perfect because that then left me with this vintage ST-362 pickguard that had nowhere to go. So I put it on my ST-62 to fully complete the look of Kurt's VMA Strat. Kurt's pickups were pure white at the time of the VMAs, but mine have yellowed over time with being nearly 30 years old. Normally, I try to go for the exact look of how Kurt had his, but I actually really love that the yellow aging of the pickups almost perfectly matches with the color of the body. It gives it a really great vintage look. I am a Strat guy now, and these 2 Japanese Strats are what pushed me over the edge. The comfiest neck that I own is my 96 MIJ Jagstangs neck, but these 2 Japanese Strats come extremely close to that one. There is something about early to mid 90s MIJ Fender necks. They have their own unique feel and nothing really compares to it. I can confirm that this applies for left-handed models too. I once played a very special MIJ left-handed Mustang, and the neck on that one immediately reminded me of the feel of my red Jagstangs neck. After the neck, the main thing that makes this one of my favorite guitars are the single coils. Before this guitar, I had tried Tex-Mex, Texas Special, Vintera Stratocaster pickups, and I loved them at the time, but these Japanese 90s ceramic pickups blew them all out of the water. These pickups really redefined for me how good Stratocaster single coils can sound. These have become my favorite pickups for cleans. Half the time I pick up this guitar, it's to play it on clean like this. The hot rails on clean are immediately reminiscent of that chunky 92 VMA clean sound. It's extremely satisfying to be able to play around with that tone. It's so distinct. But the hot rails really shine on distortion, which makes sense. That's what they were designed for high gain applications. On a DS2, you can easily get that quintessential live at ready 92 distorted sound. But to be transparent, when I'm not recording Nirvana tone content, I'm almost always pairing this guitar with my vintage SANSAMP. This guitar sounds absolutely massive and brutal through that pedal. I'm going to shut up now and let the guitar do the rest of the talking for the tone demo. I will be playing using my setup for Kurt's VMA clean tone, using my Fender Tone Master twin reverb that is being aided by my Mesa Boogie 5-band EQ pedal. The first playing portion will be the historically accurate section, using my 90s DS2 to play through songs that were being played in mid to late 92 when this guitar was in heavy rotation. Settings will be shown on the screen as they are being used. After that, we're going to branch out and I'm going to play some riffs using my SANSAMP. And no, Kurt never used his VMA Strat on stage with the SANSAMP, so apologies ahead of time for all the history purists. Trust me, I'm usually one of those and I try to make my videos historically accurate pedal-wise, but this guitar just sounds too good through the SANSAMP to not include it in this demo. Let me know what you think, and let me know if there are any other guitars you'd like to see an in-depth tone video of this style for. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Nirvana Guitars, and check out my other Nirvana gear videos right here on YouTube.